And a very good afternoon, good evening, or even good morning, depending on where you're tuning in from, as this is truly a global event and we have guests from all over the world. We are so excited, and of course, a special welcome to all of our travel advisors, our past guests, and of course, our team members around the globe who have joined us today for this very special virtual celebration to help us celebrate our 18th year anniversary. While the events of this year have been challenging, they have made us even more appreciative of the long-term relationships and trust that we have developed over the past 18 years with many of you on this webinar. It wouldn't seem right if we did not take a few moments and reflect on all the wonderful accomplishments and support that has helped us become the strong company we are today and share our co-owners' vision of the future. Now, if you are celebrating anything special today, please let us know under the comments throughout the webinar, and we'll make sure to toast you at the end with our very special toast, and of course, a very special Happy Canada's Day to our Canadian friends. And of course, speaking of our co-owners and co-founders, I am so proud and so humbled to be joined today by quite the lineup. Of course, starting with our inspirational co-founder and president, Rudy Schreiner. Hi, Rudy.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here.
The ever sparkling co-founder and executive vice president, Christine Karst. Hey, Christine.
Hi, Alex. Hello, everyone. And thanks for sharing another wonderful sip and sail together with us. And happy anniversary to all of us.
And of course, a charismatic co-owner and senior vice president of sales, Gary Murphy. Hi, Gary.
Hey, Alex. Hi, Rudy. Hi, Christine. It's great to be here. Thanks for this opportunity to share the next hour with you.
Absolutely. And of course, as always, we have our dedicated team of moderators who are ready to answer any questions you may have. So feel free to ask away. And keep in mind that this webinar, just like all of our other ones, just like all of our other sip and sales, will be recorded and archived and can be found in our travel advisor portal, our dedicated travel advisor portal for our travel advisors, along with all the tools and resources needed to successfully learn, market, and sell our wonderful product. We will also send you a link via our thank you email and communication. Now, our 18-year history is full of heartfelt moments and remarkable achievements, but all of our stories actually started with one man's love of nature and his desire to meet new people, experience different cultures, and visit remarkable places in the world. So let's have a quick look at some of the events that have shaped our past and allowed us as we look forward to the future with optimism. Roll the video, Sonia, please. Hope you enjoyed the video. So now I'll turn it over to Christine and Gary. Take it away.
Wow, thank you so much, Alex, and welcome again, everyone. We truly miss you. I mean, it has been only 3.5 months that we are working from home. In fact, today we are actually in the office for our 18th anniversary. We thought it's the best place to do our sip and sail together. Because that is just our environment. This is where life has happened. This is where our team has always come together. And now, of course, we are all working from home. But we miss seeing you. We miss being on a cruise with you on one of our beautiful ships. We miss being on a fam together, having these dinners, sharing a great glass of wine, having a nice dance in the evening, going on a beautiful excursion the next day. So we want to thank you, our travel partners. because you are the lifeline of our business. Without you, we would not have had these 18 fascinating years, all the achievements that we have brought together here. You are our extended sales force, our marketing arm, and we know that you had to work exceptionally hard to stay on top of this constantly changing, evolving environment. And you have done a remarkable job of calmly reassuring your clients and working with them to really explain all the options to reschedule any of our suspended cruises into the future, no matter if it's later this year, 21 or 22. So we are very, very grateful to have you as our partners. We share the same core values, our genuine service, trust, integrity, and that's how we want to build our partnership with you into the future. So thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. All the reasons to cruise, to river cruise, still exist today. It's just we can't travel right now. You know, the magnificent rivers, the beautiful towns, cities, and villages that share the banks with these rivers, the great ships that Rudy has built, and of course, our crew. And over the last 18 years, we've built this company and really with partnership with our travel advisor partners. Now, we call them travel advisors. Some of you may recognize them as travel agents, but advisors because they're really advising you what's the best vacation experience that matches your expectations. And over the last 18 years, we've been building ships and developing products to in anticipation of what you're expecting to cruise, what experiences you're expecting to have on board. So we'll continue doing this. It's a wonderful to share this time with you, and thank you for this opportunity, Alex.
Thank you so much, Christine and Gary. Now, Rudy, let's take a moment and go back to the beginning. Can you share with us how this wonderful dream all started?
How did this all start? I mean, back in actually 1974, 75, I went on a 13-month trip from New York to Peru. And I spent 7 months in the Peruvian Amazon. Took us about 6 weeks to build a raft. And then we spent 5 months on a raft on the upper Amazon on the Ecuadorian-Peruvian border with the Jivaro Indians. It was about a trip of a lifetime. And the little blue slide you see there is me on the raft, yeah, with my big oars. And it was an absolutely, absolutely fantastic experience. So that was my first big river cruise. Growing up in Vienna on the Danube, there was always something about river and river cruising and so on. So then I had my own tour company, Student Tours, STI, Student Travel International. And then in 1992, I actually joined Uniworld. Uniworld at that time was called Love Holidays, and it was a tour operator doing motor coach tours to Yugoslavia. And with the Gulf War in 91, 92, the whole business turned down. And I was hired there to start up new products. And the same month I was hired, in September 1992, the Rhine-Danube Canal opened up. 800 years ago already, Charlemagne wanted to build a canal that connects the Rhine River with the Danube. It didn't work at that time. About 150 years ago, they tried to build a canal again. And then finally, in 1992, they accomplished building this canal, which connects the two main European rivers and opens up river cruising to 15 different countries. So with one ship, you can actually reach 15 different countries.
Rudy, can you share what the canal does in determining the size of the ships? Because that's often a question.
What the canal does, the canal is 12 meters wide. I mean, the locks are 12 meters wide going through the canal. So you physically go up the Danube. You go up the Danube from Austria into Germany, and then close to Nuremberg, you reach the high elevation of the Main-Danube Canal. The canal itself is 107 miles long and reaches an altitude of about 1,470 feet. And they are between Budapest and Amsterdam. So if you cruise the entire distance, you have about 80 locks. So once you go into the upper Danube, you go step by step up, like climbing a mountain. Once you reach the top, it goes down step by step into the Main River and into the Danube. So it is really a marvelous construction feature. And the locks are 36 feet wide, 12 meters wide. So you physically can cruise from the North Sea to the Black Sea. So when the canal opened up actually for freight shipping. There was never any intention for passenger shipping. But when I read about this opening up and I started connecting to some Dutch ship operators and put the first itineraries together at Uniworld. And Uniworld over the years turned from a motor coach company into a river cruise line. So I spent my time at Uniworld until the year 2000. So I was 8 years there. And in 2000, actually, I had the opportunity to open up the headquarter view of Viking River Cruises in Woodland Hills in California. So I left Uniworld. Prior to that, actually, Uniworld was contracting with Viking. And so we opened up Viking River Cruises, and that was in 2000. I stayed there for 2 years. And then two years later, together with Gary's father, Jimmy, and Christine, actually, whom I met at Viking during my times there, we decided we can do it much better. And we started our own River Cruise line. So in 2002, July 1, we opened up our company. Now, I had a non-compete when I left Viking, and my non-compete ended on June 30th at midnight. So I was waiting on a computer, actually, and right after midnight, 18 years ago, I logged in and I incorporated our cruise line. So that's the big celebration today, 18 years later, and we don't look back at it anymore.
Rudy, Christine, that's often asked when people come to visit us. They're saying, well, gee, Viking's right down the road and Uniworld's right down the road. Why are you guys all in the same neighborhood? And I always like to share the fact is because Rudy was pretty much started all 3 different river cruise lines, and we're all friendly competitors, which is nice and fun.
So we call it the River Cruise Valley here, right?
If you look at the picture below, you see at that time I still had brown hair. Yeah, they got a little gray.
I think we all have changed it since then, right? But so this is the day when AmaWaterways was born, and it was just a beautiful journey from the beginning to where we are now. So it was the 3 of us, Jimmy, Rudy, myself. And we divided really and conquer. While Rudy was in charge of operations, finance, shipbuilding, ship construction, and architecture, I was the one doing reservations during the day, writing the invoices in Excel afterwards, doing marketing, so putting the first marketing material together after office hours. And then, of course, I was my own sales team in those early days. We were very lucky to contract with Brandon's air department. I always remember during the day, you know, when the booking came, how we got the air booked through Brandon Tours, Gary. And we really, in the process of all of this, we figured out we are not just great partners, we became wonderful friends, sharing the same core values with each other, but also with our first travel advisor partners. We started with our home-based agents. And because home-based agents, you were all entrepreneurs like us. And it is actually funny to say that Rudy in the beginning said he wants to be the first home-based river cruise line. Now we were growing so fast that we needed an office because we started to hire so many people, one after the next after the next. But these early days are so precious. I still also remember my very first sales trip going to the East Coast. And I went up to Canada because it is Canada Day today, and I'm wearing my red for this. So, and I was doing cold calls then, like so many of us have to do. And I was calling this lady where I knew she had Dutch heritage, and I'm German. I was born in Dresden on the banks of the Elbe River. So I thought this is a great match. Well, little did I know how tough this first call was. And after 3 calls, I was allowed to come in for 1 minute, which became an hour, which became truthfully one of the best partnerships and friendships with one of our travel advisors. And Ineke, if you are on this call today, thank you so much for everything what we have done throughout the years. And thank you, Canada, for being, in addition to our American market and international markets, for being such wonderful, wonderful partners to us. We will never forget this. We will be always loyal. So yeah, this is some of the memories, of course, I wanted to share, but we also have a great partner, Geoff McGeary, the McGeary family in Australia. So Gary, please take it from here.
You know, I was just thinking about Jeff and Chris Hall and everybody back in Australia. They're probably just awakening right now, and hopefully, I hope they get to share this anniversary with us. But back in 2005, 2006, Australia Pacific Tours, we through our industry relations, through our Brendan Tours used to use our coaches in Australia. Rudy knew Jeff from past experience, and they became our partners selling in the Australian, New Zealand market, and then actually became a partner in the company. And it's been a wonderful partner with different, different understandings and different balances on all working together to fill the ships. The McGeary family, it's been a blessing working with them. It's been a joy. I do miss our board meetings where we all get together, but hopefully this thing will pass. We'll all be getting on an airplane soon and celebrating our 18th again in Europe together. But it's been a wonderful partnership. And again, the first ship we built. Now, Rudy didn't mention this earlier, but Rudy is a trained architect by trade. And when you're building a river ship, he wanted something that he could do right from scratch, right from the very beginning, with all his ideas, with his architectural background, to build a ship for the U.S. market. And really, the AmaDagio was the first ship built for the U.S. market. The idea of French balconies, lots of space, not putting too many cabins on the one vessel, because as Rudy mentioned, you're limited by your width by the Main-Danube Canal, the height by the bridges, and the length by the curves in the river. And he had to take in all those dynamics to build this ship. And we built her. She was gorgeous, and it really launched the success of AmaWaterways. And at christening, in the middle, that's my sister. To the far left is Jeff McGeary, and just to the left there of my sister is my mom. There's Isabel, Christine's daughter, to the far right, next to Laura, Jeff's daughter. But again, it was a wonderful celebration, the AmaDagio, and we've had a very pragmatic approach towards our growth. First, we added 1 or 2 ships here. Now, for the first time, we've added 3 ships. But by having a pragmatic growth, it helped keep our culture not growing too fast. We can introduce new crew to the ships that are already cruising and bring the older seasoned crew onto the new vessels. And it really kept a strong company culture. And it also let us have some very conservative business practices in that we didn't finance our ships. We pay for our ships. They're paid off. And in today's environment, it's very nice. We have 23 ships cruising the rivers of the world, and we don't have debt, which is a wonderful thing to say in this environment.
Thank you so much, Gary. What a great story. What a wonderful journey. And really today's all about celebrating. And we love receiving all these wonderful messages on the chat box. So thank you for those. And we of course have special messages from all over the globe. And now it's time to share another short video. This time we have a special greeting from our Basel office as well as some of our cruise managers. Sonia, roll the video, please.
I'm Wade, and I started with AMA in 2003.
Hi, I'm Leo, and I started with AMA in 2005. Together, we founded the European offices of AmaWaterways already 15 years ago.
And over those years, we have created an amazing and diverse team of cruise managers who have since become our family. And we love AMA.
And our cruise managers do too.
And now those cruise managers who started with us 15 years ago have a message for you.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I joined the AmaWaterways family in the year 2005. I was a young person full of dreams and plans, and this lovely family gave me the chance to make those dreams come true while pursuing the career that I prepared myself for. So after all these years, I'm still here, very proud and honored to be part of this family. So here it goes with lots of love. Happy birthday to you.
Hi, my name is John, and I've been with AmaWaterways since 2006. And I've stayed with AmaWaterways all of these years because I love this dynamic, caring, family-run company who are leading the way in river cruising. It was for sure the best career decision in my life. Happy birthday, AmaWaterways.
Hi, my name is Lilo. I joined AmaWaterways in 2005. And I've been with AmaWaterways all these years because everyone in the company shares my passion to make sure all our guests have the best possible experience. Happy birthday, AmaWaterways.
Since I was a child, the word vacation or holiday has meant fun, and this is something that I try and bring to every day of every cruise. Having met the owners of AmaWaterways too, and having seen Christine Cast's smile, having heard Rudy Schreiner's famous giggle, and having been part of some of Gary Murphy's practical jokes, I think I'm in the right place. It's been a pleasure, AmaWaterways. Happy 18th birthday, and here's to many, many more.
I'm having goosebumps. I'm having such goosebumps right now. It's such a beautiful video, and it just shows all the life that we were able to touch and lives that touched us during these 18 years. And for me, it's the most important part is we are surrounded by people, by our family, by you, our travel agent partners. We all share the same core values, really. And this is it's commitment to genuine service, to really provide the very best vacation experience for our guests. These gentle acts of kindness that our crew members, our cruise managers, our teams just have spread out every day. And there's nothing more that we wish than that this is coming back very, very soon, and we can all meet on board our ships again.
It's very sort of challenging not to be on the ships. I know Rudy and Christine feel the same way. It's a lifestyle. Many years ago, when Christine actually was in Canada, I believe, Christine, that's when you first met Fred Olsen. You went over.
Angie, it was our lovely Angie, and she met James actually at the CLIA show in Vancouver. And that was the start of our relationship with the UK. Yes.
And it was great that we met the Fred Olsen family, and they're our first sales agent over in the UK. And through that, we met the magnificent James Hill. Oh. And he helped us develop our product over in the UK very, very successfully. And then, you know, as through natural progression we grew, we decided to open our own office. And it's great to see the further expansion of the company, but still keeping our culture and our relationship and the love for our product all together. Jamie, do you have anything to say?
I do. Thank you, Rudy, Christine, and Gary. On behalf of myself and the UK AMA family and all of our travel agent partners and guests from the UK and Europe, firstly, huge congratulations on your 18th anniversary. In spite of the evolution and innovation over the years, for me, what's really striking is that the one thing that hasn't changed, and that's the partnership and family values remaining at the center of everything that we do. And this certainly flows from you through the whole company, from our amazing onboard teams to those in our offices around the world. And I know that our guests love that they are treated like family when they step on board the ships. I'd also like to thank the ongoing support of all our travel agent partners and loyal guests here in the UK and Europe for helping us to get where we are today. We look forward to sharing our future with all of you. From my own personal perspective, I'm proud and honoured to be a part of the AMA family. And I know it's a busy schedule, but I just personally wanted to finish by saying, in this part of the world, the legal age to enjoy a glass of wine is 18. So what better way to mark reaching the 18th year milestone, a glass to your fantastic achievements and the wonderful partnerships that you've created over this time. So congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
That means so much to us.
So bicycles, we use this slide for showing about our bicycles. We're the first river cruise line to introduce bicycles on board our ships. And if you can imagine, we are always doing things in anticipation of what you're looking for in a travel experience. Christine first started pushing wellness on board and having a wellness host on all our ships long before it was as popular as today. But it's these types of experience that we anticipate delivering to you. And if you can imagine, all along the banks of the Rhine and the Danube and the Mosel, there's these beautiful bike paths. There's James there with Christine. The experience that you can actually ride from one town to the next. And now we've even developed even further that we have 2 biking guides that's with you at the beginning of the riders, and at the back we've introduced hiking, all these joyful experiences that you can share with us on an AMA River Cruise.
And there's really, and you know, seeing James, and of course have been with James here riding the bike, and that's the Seine River. That's about Les Andelys, this area. Just, you know, enjoying these experiences with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. All of these things make life so precious.
There are many, many memories. I was asked to produce one. You can get nervous now. A highlight was a New Year cruise that Rudy and Christian hosted, and I think it was 2011 when the temperature was very low and the Danube had frozen over and the Main-Danube Canal had frozen. The locks were iced up, and Captain Jan was very worried, and he said the ships would get stuck in the lockhead. And the ships which were sailing from Budapest over Christmas heading for Amsterdam couldn't get any further than Regensburg, and yet you were somehow able to get the Amabella out of winter storage, where she just arrived in the Netherlands. You assembled a full crew, you loaded and provisioned the ship, and it sailed to the Main end of the canal all over the Christmas holidays, where we and others joined before New Year. And Rudy and Christine, I remember celebrating New Year's Eve with you on the deck in Cologne with some fearsome Polish hooch, quite a few ladies in fur coats, and the locals setting off rockets over our heads. And it has to be said, just over our heads. Now, my grown-up children who were with me still remember that week as one of the best we ever spent together. And it's all thanks to your welcome, the dedication of your staff, and your creation, AmaWaterways. So here's to the next 18 years. And over here in England, it's 7 o'clock, so it's not too early to raise a glass to you. Cheers.
Well, but then, Gary, 2009 was a very, very special year for all of us because you joined AmaWaterways. So you finally made this decision, right? After so many years, just to say, oh. And as I mentioned, while we really concentrated in the early years of our company on our home-based market, home-based channel, the cruise market, and I hope many, many of you are here on this call, Cruise One, Cruises Inc., then Dream Vacations, the Cruise Planners family, and so many, many more. Gary, when you came to join us, you also started a relationship with many of the consortia. We are proud, really, really preferred today, Signature, American Express, Virtuoso, AAA, and so many more. So tell us a little bit about this, because I know how proudly you carry on the legacy of your late father and our founding chairman, Jimmy Murphy. Gary, please take it from.
Well, thank you, Christine. You know, I was raised in the travel business, and we've always realized the importance of the partnership with our retail travel agency partner, with the travel advisors. And there's these great groups out there that organize the agents together. CLIA is one of them. You have ASTA also, where an opportunity for us to train the travel advisors, to train the agents on our product, so they ensure to match the right person with the AmaWaterways cruise. And it's been a successful recipe, and we look forward to getting everything back going again and starting those, continuing those relationships.
Yeah, and because we had so many more clients who ask us, after I have done the Danube and the Rhine and the Tulip Time Cruise, the French rivers, the Douro River, so what's coming next? So we branched out and we introduced our very first ship on the Mekong, the La Marguerite, in 2009. And the Mekong River is so near and dear to all our hearts because it is a transformative experience to cruise through Vietnam and Cambodia on this 7-night cruise where we see all the floating markets, ride the rickshaws and the trishas, go to the biggest Buddhist center in Cambodia, Udong, where we receive a blessing, do rice paper, and so much more. The culture is incredible, but it is the gentleness of the Cambodian people. It's their politeness that our guests really remember the most. And I always say they have so many more problems than we have. Our small problems become big problems, but they never lose their smile. And they go ahead. And once everything comes back, this is certainly an itinerary that I would recommend all of you to do in the future.
No, Christine, I mean, Rudy, you built 3 ships in Vietnam?
Yes, we have now the Amadara, and between the Amalotus, 3 ships. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. There's a long story behind it too. Okay, I don't even want to get it.
No, we need to spend hours here together.
It's an interesting story, though. One day.
It started with me and my daughter going on a Mekong cruise in 2006. That's how it started. Okay,
Yeah.
but let's not go into the details.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's an hour.
So 2009 was another big year for us because we introduced our very first wine cruise with Jim Clendenin, the owner of Au Bon Climat. That's a wonderful winery here, Central Coast in California. And now from the very first sailing, 2009, going forward 2020, we introduced more than 70 wine experience cruises, all led by an experienced wine host with wine tastings, wine blendings, special wine paired dinners on board, but where we also take you out on curated wine excursions to old medieval wine cellars in Austria, in France, in Portugal. So, and we want to thank also all our travel partners who have done many of these wine cruises with us. And for many of you, this is a wonderful business because still today, the #1 theme is food and wine, the culinary theme. So there is so much more what we can do together in the future. But then 2010, Gary, we started to build our, you know, I don't say long, I don't say space, I don't say any other, we say our best ships, right?
I think Rudy should actually talk what happened in 2009 with the lengths of the ships.
Okay, so what happened there is up until then, you were only allowed to cross the Main-Danube Canal once with a longer ship than the 360 feet ship, the 110-meter ship. So eventually, the European Union changed this, that laws, and by 2010, we were allowed to cruise through the Main-Danube Canal non-stop with longer ships. That was 441 meters. So that year, pretty much the whole ship construction, starting in 2010, all ship construction in Europe really changed. Everybody started taking advantage. So when we started with our first design for a 135 meter, 441 foot ship, one of the ideas was luxury staterooms and balconies. And what we came up is the design of the twin balcony. So the twin balcony means a French balcony, which you see here on the right-hand side, you sliding doors you can open up, and on the left-hand side, a balcony where you physically can sit outside. So the twin balcony cabin became our shipbuilding standard from that day on. And even for our Mekong ships, we have the same standard. You have a sliding glass door, one balcony, you have the outdoor balcony. And so the twin balcony concept is the standard for our ships.
And especially in today's days, we truly see the booking trend goes to really book these balcony staterooms, because having fresh air, sitting outside, sitting inside, maybe enjoying your room service menu in the privacy of your cabin is so much more important now with the current situation.
Now, if the Australian partners are listening in on this also, I have to very much also say lots of thanks to Jeff McGeary. Jeff McGeary, during the times when we were cruising together, when we started designing ships and so on, him and me, we were always just working on every detail. We were not interested in shore excursions and so on. We were walking from ship to ship, looking at all our competition, measuring rooms, looking at the floors, seeing what we can do and so on. So Jeff was very strong, influential in also the design. Jeff, thank you very much for whatever you have contributed to the success of our fleet.
But I know, Gary, your father, Jimmy, he loved to go on the shore excursions, right?
Dad loved to go on the shore excursions and talk to the clients, you know, and talk to the guests and get their feedback. And you know, he says, if you ever want to know how your business is going, he used to tell me, Gary, listen to your travel advisor partner and your guests. They will tell you exactly what you're doing right and wrong.
Exactly. So all the different talents really were coming together here. So 2011, now after Rudy and I were partners for so many years.
10 years.
We decided
at a crazy Christmas party, yeah, when she was talking to our staff, yeah, we had a big Christmas party. At that time, we had about 60 or 70 people in the office, about 100 people with their spouses and friends. And so she, during the Christmas party, she was talking and she handed me the microphone and asked me to say something. And I was like, okay, what do I say? So I got down on my knees and I said, do you want to marry me? And she said yes. And then for our honeymoon,
then the party really started.
Immediately after that, she wanted to go on a trip to Africa on a safari and did not want to have anything to do with a river cruise.
That's so true. Yeah. I said, if I, for once, can divide our private life from our business life, that would mean so much to us. So.
But then I found this little boat on the Chobe River, yeah, this amazing queen, and I said, darling, can we just spend a couple of days during our trip on the ship? And she said, no, absolutely no. I said, come on. So, I mean, you know how it is. You ask, and then you finally get this very weak moment where she says, okay, we'll do it. So 2 of our days during our 3-week trip in Africa, we spent on the Zambezi Queen on the Chobe River. Somehow, by accident, the owner was here. And the architect was here. Everybody was here. And Christine loved it so much that she said, we have to incorporate this trip into our new programs.
So that's, of course, how much Rudy knows me. He knew I would fall in love. And in October, so that trip was in May 2011. In October 2011, we had our very first Africa brochure out. We are not waiting. If we want to do something, we do it fast, right? We follow up. And boy, since then, Africa has become such a huge success. The Zambezi Queen is the ultimate ship, and that's the ultimate luxury river cruise vacation. 4 nights, it's a wildlife cruise, and the ship is in the middle of 4 countries, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana, 1.5 hours away from Victoria Falls. And of course, nobody goes just for 4 nights to Africa. That's what we have put together now for the cruise. So we have connected this with fantastic pre and post land programs. in some of the most luxurious lodges in the world. And as anything else, we had to suspend this program, unfortunately, but there is nothing more than, you know, we wish the time when it comes back to take you all on the Chobe River again, on the Zambezi, and to see this beautiful wildlife, but of course also the people, because the crew members on the Zambezi Queen in Africa, the way they sing you happy birthday, happy anniversary, it's just would be another story for goosebumps here. And by the way,
where else can you go and be on the water and watch some elephants swimming across the river with their trunks out like a snorkel? You know, it's a great that you get the part on water and part on land. It's a lifetime experience.
It truly is.
And the Namibian staff on board, they are absolutely fantastic. They love to sing. The moment you walk on board, they are there, the whole crew singing for you. Whenever you have a celebration, a birthday, whatever, they sing for you. It is just a magnificent atmosphere.
Yeah. So 2011 first goes on the Chobe, but let's go into 2012 now. That's when we started to build our longships, Amadaccio, and all the sister ships. Now, that was also the time when we started to have our first chef's table specialty restaurant on board. We all love to eat. We love to share a good glass of wine. Rudy is a member of the Chain de Rochesseur. So are many of our chefs. We got inducted, and we just wanted to share a special tasting menu with you, where you see the chef preparing everything in front of your eyes. And this is just a master culinary experience. And some of our guests, when I was on board and I had dinner with them, they mentioned to me, Christine, this is almost, or it is like a dinner at the French Laundry in Northern California, the Napa Valley, which was a great compliment for us to hear. But once you come on board, you will see it is such a culinary experience, and it is all included in our cruise fare. So we do not charge extra for our specialty restaurants.
So every guest during a 7-night cruise can dine one evening at the Chef's Table restaurant, and it is a marvelous experience.
Okay, yeah. Rudy, how many courses? We always sort of discuss.
Every year we change it, okay? So every year we change it. Some years we were up at 18 courses.
I know.
And what it is, like we serve 3-4 appetizers on one plate. Then we have the sorbet, we have 3-4 little fish dishes, seafood dishes, meat dishes, and then at the final thing you get a plate with like 4 different desserts. Then comes the cheese and this and this. So it's an endless little tasting menu. Yeah. So we every year we try to create new things. But I think maximum we had was 18 courses. We cut it down again to 18 was a little long. Yeah. So it changes every year. There's every year a new idea, a new interest, and we want our returning passengers also to get a different experience every year. So new creative stuff every year.
Food and wine is a huge part of our success, and we have welcomed some wonderful chefs on board in our history, and of course would love to do it again.
And speaking of chefs and speaking of food and culinary experiences on board, we have another very special guest joining us today, and that is Chef Joanne Weir. And Joanne is the author of 19 cookbooks. She's a co-owner of Capito Restaurant in Sausalito. She's the host of her own PBS travel and cooking series, Plates and Places. We have welcomed Joanne along with her film crew and followers on river cruises on the Danube, the Rhine, Bordeaux. Welcome, Joanne.
Thank you so much. I have to tell you, I've had goosebumps like 10 times watching this. It's incredible. It just is so wonderful, everything that you've done. And it makes me so nostalgic. It makes me want to be on an Ama ship right now. I just can't wait. Anyway, it's so wonderful to see all of you. And And one thing that I really loved was filming on the ship. When we were filming along the Rhine and the Danube, it was so special. And the chefs in the kitchen teams were so incredible and so helpful, but they're also incredible cooks. And what really amazes me about being on the ships is how accommodating everyone is, especially those chefs, but everyone is just so accommodating. I will never forget the night that I was sitting in the dining room and someone brought me out this beautiful little chocolate brownie it had vanilla ice cream on the top, and it was gluten-free and dairy-free. And honestly, it was just so delicious. And that's how it is constantly on the ships. And also being the wine lover that I am, and I'm sure all of you are too, the wines are also incredible. And we visit all those fantastic regions and taste the wines, and they pair so well with the food. So I really absolutely loved it. And I think the crew is amazing, but I really think partly it's because of all of you. It comes from the top, and the entire team is really over the top. And you really have made, almost after a week, I think about this, after a week there, I feel like I'm part of the family, and I'm sure everybody else feels that same way too. I even had my family on the ship with me, and my whole family, and we went along the Danube, and honestly, we just can't wait to come back. My brother has already signed up his whole family to bring them. And but anyway, congratulations. I just wanted to pop on and talk to you for a few minutes, but congratulations, happy anniversary, happy birthday, and much love to all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you.
Joanne, you are so special. Thank you.
So every 2 years, the travel company puts out, Berlitz puts out a guide on river cruising. And they go on 325 different ships, unbeknownst to us, and they look at all aspects of the operation, your crew, your cruise managers, the way the cabins are designed and laid out, and most importantly, also the culinary aspect of the ship. And of the top 10 ratings, we took 6 of the top, and then we took like 11, 12, 13, and 14, and I think 16. But it was a great recognition. The recognition was wonderful for us to receive. And what really drives a lot of it is the culinary aspect. And Rudy has really put in some strict guidelines. Rudy, I mean, many years ago, you sat back and you said, no frozen fish on board. You remember that?
I remember that. I was Christmas cruise. I was it was in Vienna. My mother was on the ship, and they served the trout, and I was like, "What's wrong with this trout?" And they're like, "Oh, it's a frozen fish." I said, "How come frozen fish? We are on a river here. They should be fresh right here." That year, from that year on, no more frozen fish on our ships.
It's all farm to table. All the produce is fresh, all the meats are fresh, all the poultry is fresh. We bake everything on board. And because of this effort, that's why we're recognized. And we're recognized also by industry associations. We're recognized by ASTA, River Cruise Line of the Year, AAA River Cruise Line of the Year, American Express, Virtuoso, I think 8 or 9 years in a row, River Cruise Line in the Year. So it's the efforts, and it's wonderful to be recognized by our travel industry partners for the services we're providing their guests, our guests on board our ships.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Gary. And now it's time to break it up a little bit. So now we want to hear from you. So hopefully you've learned a thing or two. Many of you on the webinar have cruised with us in the past, and many of you will be cruising with us in the future, I'm sure. But we want to know, this is a quick poll, what is your favorite AmaWaterways innovation? So we ask you to please select one. Is it the complimentary bicycles on board, our complimentary high-speed Wi-Fi, our variety of included shore excursions, or the chef's table specialty restaurant? Pick one, and we'll give you the results here momentarily. We'll just wait a few more seconds here while you all cast your vote and make your selection. So thank you for that.
And I think what's missing, all of the above, right? But Alex, you didn't want to make it too easy.
Exactly. So okay, so here are the results. Okay, number one at 59%, the variety of included shore excursions. Number 2, the Chef's Table specialty restaurant, of course, included in the fare at 26%. And then next, pretty much neck and neck, complimentary high-speed Wi-Fi at 8%, and then the bicycles on board at 7%. So thank you so much.
Alex, we worked so hard on that Wi-Fi. We worked so hard on it. Rudy, is it true how much we spend compared to fuel?
I don't even want to tell you, okay? You will pay, you'll be pale if I tell you. Actually, we had, in 2018, we spent more on Wi-Fi than we spent on fuel on a per person per day basis.
But I'm glad to see actually the show excursions, because we made a point to include so many different options, all included, but different options, small groups into our cruises. Every day, 4 to 5, sometimes the active hiking, biking, city tours, culinary tours. And I think that makes the difference.
Yeah, and today Wi-Fi is a given. People expect good Wi-Fi, so they don't expect the good tour excursions. That's why they are rating so high.
Great to see you back on track.
So, okay, moving right along here now, a few words about our mentor, our leader, also known as the godfather of river cruising, Rudy Schreiner. Again, a proven leader, pioneer. Rudy has spent decades helping to elevate river cruising to its current position as one of the most popular segments of the global tourism industry. Rudy proudly received a CLIA Lifetime Achievement Award and was inducted into CLIA's Hall of Fame. Again, we were all very, very proud. Again, congratulations, Rudy. We're all so proud of you. And now AmaWaterways has been a proud and active member of CLIA in the United States and the UK. And here to say a few words, we have CLIA's Vice President of Industry and Trade Relations and a dear friend to all of us at AmaWaterways, Charles Sylvia. Charlie, take it away.
Well, Charlie, can you explain? We have many, non-travel people on the call. Can you let them know who CLIA is? And can you also tell them what Alex does there too?
Absolutely, Gary. Absolutely, and thank you so much, Alex, for having me on this call. It's an honor to be here, and Rudy and Christine and Gary, congratulations on a magnificent 18 years history with AmaWaterways. And I have to tell you, with everything that you've accomplished in the past 18 years, I can only imagine what will be happening in the next 18 years. And I look forward to it.
Don't give Rudy any new ideas or thoughts, please.
Well, it's funny you say it, Gary. They refer to Rudy as the godfather of river cruising. When I talk about Rudy, I think much more of him as the Steve Jobs of river cruising, because he really is the visionary innovator. And it makes sense that, the river cruising valley is there in California. It's no different than Silicon Valley because it's so creative, thanks to Rudy. But for those on the call who aren't aware of CLIA, CLIA is Cruise Lines International Association, and we are the definitive global organization that represents, we're the trade association for the global cruise industry, and that includes 33 global ocean cruise lines, as well as 17 river cruise operators around the world. And in addition to congratulating you on this magnificent achievement, I really want to thank you, because for those of us who are working tirelessly around the clock toward a resumption of worldwide operations for the entire global cruising fleet, it's been a challenging time, but I have to tell you that I've been spending a lot of my time, my personal time, watching the wonderful videos, the AmaWaterways videos on YouTube. Your YouTube channel is fantastic, and it takes me back to the many phenomenal, fantastic, wonderful memories that I have during my AmaWaterways cruise up the Rhine River. And I have to tell you that from my perspective, I was fortunate enough, you can see me there, to be the host in 2016. I'm the host of what's called Cruise 360, which is the hub. It's when the entire cruise community comes together in North America. And it was my great honor to be the person lucky enough to hand Rudy his CLIA Lifetime Achievement Award and induct him into the Cruise Industry Hall of Fame. And that was one of the highlights of my career. Folks, I have to tell you, for those of you who are travel advisors on the call, I consider AmaWaterways to have written the book on support, unwavering support, and championing travel advisors worldwide and travel agents worldwide. You can find no greater friend than AmaWaterways, and it is a privilege to have them as part of CLIA. And just as evidence of that, we have a committee called the Trade Relations Committee at CLIA, and it's comprised of leaders, cruise executives from all 33 ocean brands and 17 river cruise operators. And I tell you that the chair of that committee, it's a very, very important role at CLIA, is none other than Alex Pinello. And I want to thank Alex for his incredible leadership of the CLIA TRC, and thank Rudy and Christine and Gary for allowing his bandwidth so that he could serve in this voluntary position that is pretty much giving back to the travel advisor community. What a terrific opportunity all of us have as travel advisors to represent AmaWaterways and their magnificent product.
That's our Alex.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you. We are so proud to be part of CLIA. Guinness, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say cheers and schlancha and prost.
Yeah. Cheers, right? And Alex, I have to say, we are so lucky, you know, that you joined us a few years ago. And there wouldn't be a better person to really chair this committee, because the wealth of both ocean and river cruise experience that you combine, there's nobody else that has this. So thank you. Thank you for everything. And thank you, Charlie, for joining us this afternoon.
Absolutely. Thank you. My pleasure, my honor, and I hope to make you, continue to make you, and of course, CLIA and our travel partners proud, and working together to really achieve bigger and greater things as an industry. But now, the next event, of course, is in 2007, was very special to many of us, to all of us, I should say, but especially to you, Christine, as in 2017. You proudly christened your namesake ship, the Ama Christina. So we'd love to hear a little about her.
Very, very special moment. And I don't think so many of you know that the Ama Christina was first supposed to go on the Elbe River. I was born in Dresden in Germany and grew up on the Elbe River. It's a beautiful area. However, with the climate change, there were constantly water problems. So when we started to build this ship, Rudy at one point said to me, would you mind if we reposition this ship to the Rhine River? And I said, well, that's quite a shock for me, but I do understand. I don't want you, Rudy, to get stomach ulcers, just what could happen.
Just some gray hair.
So this ship was repositioned to the Rhine. It was 15 years in our company. And I was very happy to have the godmothers of our industry on board with me. We see, of course, here from the right, Jackie Friedman, our president of Nextion, Michelle Fee, founder and CEO of Cruise Planners. We have Sharon and Susan Murphy, Gary's sisters, and Brenda Kylo, formerly then with the Canadian Automobile Club. I was also very lucky to have still my parents on board with me, Charlie, and so many of our industry friends and travel advisors, in addition to our esteemed guests. So it was a wonderful celebration in Lahnstein on the Rhine, one of our exclusive ports where we go, because one thing what we enjoy based on our heritage and our relationship is a lot of exclusive excursions, ports. We would go up later to Lahnstein Castle, a very romantic castle in this special part of the Rhine area. And that's what we want to do more and more in the future. Show you these special places that are a little bit away from the normal tourist sites. But most of all, I'm proud of that the Ama Christina was the very first river cruise ship that was certified with the Green Award. And this award is given when a ship is especially environment friendly, from emissions, from waste management, isolation, air conditioning, windows, all of this. And I know Rudy could tell you so much more about this. After Ama Christina, all of our European ships got certified with the Green Award. Very important for us to save our planet. But also Ama Christina now, later this year, at the end of this year, will be transferred over to France because it will be our second ship on the Rhone River to go from Avignon to Lyon, Lyon, the gastronomical capital of Europe, and will be on the side to the Amacello. And we look very much forward to have our ship there. 2017, we had so many more things that we introduced. That was the first year when our wellness host, Selina, came on board and created our wellness program. Selina started on the Amalura on the Seine River. And then we started this program on all our ships in Europe, as well as in Vietnam and Cambodia on the Mekong. So we are the first river cruise line to offer you a dedicated wellness host, starting with morning classes, core stretching, exercise, to even champagne yoga, resistance band classes, running, circuit training, even line dance classes if you want to do it. Living a healthy lifestyle is very important to all of us. It's a foundation of youth. We all like to eat as well. And of course, we talk so much about cuisine, but it's also important that our cuisine features many choices, organic choices, where our food comes from the local regions, the local areas, especially the fruit and the vegetable. So we continue with our wellness programs, of course, on board all our ships. And now let's go from 2017 into 2019.
Okay, here. So 2019, 3 ships, Amaduro, top left, the Amamora, bottom left, and the big Amamagna on the right. Amaduro is on the Douro River, the Golden River, and you see a golden ship. For me, for many years, the most exciting project has been the Amamagna. After building the same 135-meter ships, there was always this like, what's new, what's next, and then more excitement and so on. So the Danube allows for wide ships, double as wide as the ships going through the Main-Danube Canal. So finally, I mean, I've been working on this project probably for 5 or 6 years, but it has been in my mind maybe even longer. But it was a long project, and it finally came to conclusion in 2019. The unique part about this ship is it offers 196 berths and double the deck space in all of our other ships. So plenty of space. Most staterooms at 350 square feet, 4 restaurants, a beautiful environment with a big movie theater, big wellness area. You see on the bottom left here the movie theater. You see on the right-hand side the standard stateroom, 350 square foot, as big as the suites on all of our other ships. So it's a magnificent environment to be cruising on Amamagna. And it was really a delight to finally have in 2019 the ship out there. And I see already we are past the 1 hour mark, so we have to like speed it up a little bit. Otherwise it gets a little too long. So
absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much, Rudy. And speaking of Amamagna, we do have another very special guest joining us now, TV host known for her work on several TV channel or travel channel shows, I should say. Our favorite being on PBS, her series on PBS for 3 seasons, Places to Love, and of course, our beautiful godmother of our Amamagna. Welcome, Samantha Brown.
Unmute. Oh, hello. How are you?
Hello.
Anniversary. This has been amazing. Just really hearing your story. I've certainly know parts of it, but to be here from the beginning and really seeing the whole evolution is amazing. And let me tell you, being asked to be the godmother of any AmaWaterways ship is an honor, but one that redefined the river experience. Oh my goodness. And can I just tell you, I still remember when Rudy and Christine, remember when you told me we were in the Jacob Javits Center of New York City and we were huddled in that massive space and there were tens of thousands of people and we were right in the middle, and that's where you told me. And I was just so taken back, and little did I know the journey that you would ask me to be a part of, because it has been just such a joy. But if I can just tell you what my favorite part, because I know we're running over, but the one thing that makes me so proud to be the Alma Magna godmother is that it was specifically designed to be for families and for friends to gather. And you know, now we know that that travel trend is going to be the most important going forward. Now we're starting to see it trickle in. People want to be together, and that's what travel is going to be about. And for 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, it's just going to be about taking the people who mean the most to you in this world and going on one of the most incredible trips and having life-changing experiences together. And the Alma Magna allows everyone to do that. So it was the right ship for the right time. And I'm so proud to be its godmother.
Oh, thank you so
Samantha,
much.
thank you for being on.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you so
I'm so proud to have you, that you are part of our family. Thank you, Samantha. Yeah. And of course, 2019 was also the year when we introduced our first loyalty appreciation river cruises. We have now over 5,500 members, and we are so happy to look at all the photos and the happy memories that you share with us and everyone else. We are happy to recognize our past guests who really come over and over to cruise with us on different ships, different itineraries. And we would love to hear from our Facebook and YouTube guests. When and where did you first sail with AmaWaterways? And if you haven't cruised with us yet, where are you looking forward to traveling to? Now it's my time to introduce Lorna.
Lorna and I cruised together over New Year's.
Oh, we did. On the Alma Magna, it was fantastic. I loved it. So New Year's cruises are wonderful. I recommend them. So thank you so much for this opportunity to join you today. I was so honored to be invited and share one of my favorite memories, which was very difficult to choose. I have so many from all of our cruising. But last year, my husband, Ray, and I sailed on the Alma Christina for our anniversary. We were on the Tulip Time cruise and had an absolutely wonderful time. Our anniversary is April 27th, and that's also Koningsday, which is the King's birthday, and it's a huge celebration in the Netherlands. It's a national holiday, so we were very honored to share the King's birthday that day. The Alma Christina docked in Rotterdam, and Ray and I chose to go on the Delft tour, and it was just so much fun. The walking tour, being it was Koningsday, everybody was celebrating, everybody was wearing their orange, as you can see we are in these pictures. That's the color of Holland, the House of Orange. And then we went to the Delft factory, and I was lovingly gifted this beautiful piece to take home from the original Delft factory. When we came back to the Alma Christina, docked in Rotterdam, we had been invited to join the captain at the captain's table for dinner. And so after having a cocktail in the lounge with the captain, our amazing cruise manager, Betty, and 6 other guests, we were escorted to the captain's table, where we had a fabulous meal, absolutely delicious, impeccably served. I grew up in a very formal Dutch family, so, you know, service is important to me. And we all enjoyed that. We enjoyed socializing. And then all of a sudden I heard the music. And for those of you who've been on an Alma cruise before, you know that means there's an anniversary or a birthday. So I look over my shoulder, and here comes our amazing maitre d' carrying a beautiful cake, absolutely gorgeous, decorated. The bakers on Alma ships are fabulous. I eat too many sweets when I'm on board. They presented it to us, and what I was really impressed with was each of the crew members, prior to going back to their stations, actually came over and shook our hands, congratulated us, and then we shared this delicious cake with everyone at the table. So it was an absolutely amazing memory. This year, because of COVID-19, we couldn't go out and celebrate. So we decided to recreate that if we could. So I still have our cards from the captain's table. So I put them out and set it with our china and crystal and had a meal. Mind you, not as good as the one we had last year on the Ama Christina. But that created such a wonderful memory. We wanted to recreate it again this year. So like Leslie, I live in Northern California. So of course I have a glass of sparkling. And I'd like to offer Ama, Rudy, Christine, Gary, and all of the Ama family, which now I feel are my family too, a very happy 18th anniversary. And I want to tell you that Ama truly means love, and you're in my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorna.
Thank you so much, Lorna.
And I think we also have today one of our very loyal guests joining us. Olis, are you here? Here you are. Thank you so much, Olis.
Thank
Can you hear me?
There we go.
There we are. I want to thank Rudy, Christine, and Gary for enriching my life with all my marvelous cruises that I've been on so far and all the memories that I have. My first cruise was with you was in 2012. I took that cruise with my sister on the Rhine River, and we had our pre-cruise stay in Zurich and Lucerne, and the crew just exceeded our expectations with a passion for hospitality and caring service. And we had that delicious cuisine and the attention to elevate each of our experiences into a cherished memory helped empower me to feel like I could try solo traveling. And since then, I knew that as long as Ama was taking care of me, I could try the solo traveling. And 5 of my 9 cruises so far have been solo travel. In 2014, I took my 12-year-old granddaughter, Annie, on the Rhine Christmas Market cruise. And from the cookies in our cabin to decorating the tree, singing Christmas carols and the delicious food, and her swimming in the heated pool every single day, and doing all of our Christmas shopping at the market, it was a magical time together and memories that I treasure. And I am so looking forward to my next cruise in 2021 and being on the rivers again with my AmaWaterways family. Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much, Olis, and we look so much forward to having you, your granddaughter, your entire family, because multi-generational travel is so important. We only live once, and we should share the ones we love, right?
That's right. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Olis. And moving right along, we truly do love our captains as they help make each cruise truly memorable for our guests. They really bend over backwards, of course, to ensure that our guests are safe and have the vacation of a lifetime. So here, for our last video, we have a special message to share from them aboard the Ama Lira and Ama Mora.
Today, we're celebrating a special birthday, the 18th year of AmaWaterways. I wish you happy birthday, send you love and kisses. Soon we will be back together. We love you.
Ik feliciteer AmaWaterways met het 18-jarig bestaan. I'm René and I'm the captain of the beautiful ship, the Ama Mora. And I will all wish you a wonderful day on this special occasion. And I hope to have the privilege to sail with many of our wonderful guests in the near future again. Loving greetings from Amsterdam.
So special. And of course, as such, we have new ships in store, the Ama Siena and the Ama Lucia. Ama Lucia will sail the Rhine, the Dutch and the Belgian waterways. The ship will join us next year in spring. And the Ama Siena will sail the Rhine, the Main and the Moselle The ship, due to COVID, is slightly delayed this year. Was supposed to come earlier in July. However, the shipyard was closed, and so the ship will join us later this year.
Are you
But
talking about the
Ama
house?
Sienna,
Okay.
Ama Lucia.
So both houses were built in Romania, and actually the Sienna is in the shipyard in Holland being finished right now. The Lucia was just put into the water in Romania and is on the way up as we speak.
And then, of course, there is the new Amadalia, our ship that we are building for the Nile River in Egypt. And we are starting there in September 2021. That is the most beautiful vessel on the longest river in the world, 68 guests only, oversized suites, a 7-night river cruise combined with 4 nights in Cairo, where we are staying at the Four Seasons Hotel, some very exclusive shore excursions and meals included in this. I would say another once in a lifetime journey. And bookings, I think the ship is already more than 60% booked now. So bookings are doing very well, thanks to you, our travel advisors again. We cannot wait to come together there.
Now, the Nile is really something you need to experience, yeah. It has been always one of our favorite things to do. Yeah, it is absolutely an unbelievable experience, and this ship will be magnificent.
Absolutely. So, but now, very important in these days is to stay connected for all of us together. So, please, it's so important that you that we are using virtual tools like our travel advisor portal, our AmaWaterways Facebook pages, the YouTube channels. You heard we just uploaded 41 beautiful videos to inspire you and to keep everyone dreaming about your next river cruises. And we all know that amore means love. It's the love for our guests, for our travel partners, our travel advisor partners, for our employees, for everyone who has supported us since we started AmaWaterways. So in our 18 years history, we had so many heartfelt moments and remarkable achievements, but nothing could have happened without you coming on board and you know, allowing us to build so many more ships for all the most beautiful rivers in the world, and welcoming you from North America, but also from all the different countries in the world to travel together with us. So now let's raise a glass, raise our glass for our final toast in behalf of our entire AmaWaterways family. We wish everyone, and especially those celebrating birthdays and anniversaries together. And I know there are quite a few ones. I know, let me just go into my messages, because I got some wonderful, wonderful messages here that I would like to, you know, tell you all about. We have a new grandfather here. We have Barbara, who is celebrating her 43rd company anniversary today. We have Karen Kruglia. Karen, you're celebrating your 39th anniversary today here. And there are so many more, but I know I realize we are over time. So cheers to continued good health and many, many wonderful new river cruise memories in all the years to come.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. And again, thank you all for joining us today and help us celebrate such a special occasion, our 18th year anniversary. We are so excited to welcome you on board one of our beautiful 25 ships sailing on 13 rivers as our story continues. So Rudy, Christine, Gary, I turn it over to you to add your closing remarks and comments.
I know Rudy wants to have the last word. So I can only say from my side, these times have taught us to become very patient. And we love you. The rivers are waiting for you and all of us patiently to come back. And we look forward to this moment. So again, in behalf of our entire AmaWaterways family, thank you so much for giving us your time. And we cannot wait to cruise together with you and to share all the next years to come on board our ships. Thank you.
I can't wait just to get on an airplane. So I'm looking forward to get on one of our ships. Thank you very much for joining, everyone.
These times have been life-changing for many of you. Yeah. If you are a high school graduate today or a college graduate today, imagine being 3 months at home and not being able to go out to the public and so on. People have not seen this kind of time or life since maybe the Second World War. It has been a totally different experience, what's going on right now, and it will change possibly life forever. I think the industry, the economy, eventually changes in several months, which might have taken years in otherwise to go through. And so these are interesting times, and it will be innovative things going on again. And you have to be creative, and you have to be innovative, and make it through the season, and we will be better coming out afterwards. So I'm very much looking forward to the future, and I think I'm very much looking forward to welcoming you all on board, and I'm looking forward to cruising again every month on one of our ships. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you all the best and a wonderful future. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.